Welcome to Mining Review Africa, and we are at Mining Indaba 2026. And today I am chatting to Bokang Kelepa, who's the Chief Growth Officer of Baletsema Holdings, about tech in mining. Bokang, always great to chat to you.
Thank you.
Now,
Same here.
yeah, Bokang, I met you in 2019, and at that stage you were playing around with the idea of a 4IR seminar in mining. And I thought to myself, well, maybe he's onto something here. Talk to me about how technology in mining has evolved since 2019, and did COVID have a lot to do with that?
Yeah. I'm glad when this happened in 2019, people thought maybe I'm talking about something that is futuristic and maybe 10 years or 20 years to come. But yes, of course, with COVID coming into the picture, we saw companies having to accelerate their technology adoption. And literally, you see, that's the way that it's happening and it's going at the moment. I'm a coal miner by background.
Yeah.
And me being a coal miner, we used to think traditionally we're ahead in terms of the tech. And I think one of the recent mines that I've visited and that I've been to is the, the Goldfields mine. I don't know if you're aware of Goldfields mine.
Yeah.
And where they're basically doing machines that are driverless. People are just driving them from all the way on surface, 3 kilometers above surface to 4 kilometers basically above surface, where a lady is operating them. Quite a game changer, something that I would have expected the coal to have taken a lead in it, But, for me, always when I'm looking at that, and I know we're still going to be discussing trends as well, you start seeing to say, why is it a must for that lady to be only 3 kilometers above ground from that machine when probably she has a good connectivity wherever she is? She can be running it the way Australians are doing it, where they've got those operational centers. It's one of the trends that we see happening at this moment now. But besides that, you're seeing a lot of driverless drills. Some mines have got driverless drills. You see mines that are connected mines where you have people connected to the machines and it's sensors all around the place. Wearables as well, it's a thing, because I think the main thing that we're really trying to push in mining is zero harm.
Yeah.
I don't know if you heard the minister, Mandashi's speech this morning to say, of course, we're still yet not at the zero harm goal that we want. We killed 41 people, but it's still a far outcry where at one go, we killed over 160 people.
Correct.
In Kinross, whether it was methane explosion, whether it was a fall of ground, a major fall of ground. But across the whole industry, you only, got to miss 41 K4. The major thing that we're still driving as the industry, it's safety. Can we get that zero harm? A lot of these things, when they happen, can you get to a point where you say, we've got methane explosion, we lost so many robots.
Right.
You don't even make headlines.
Right.
It's just between the insurance and the mine or the user. You understand what I'm saying? It really won't be making headlines because we wouldn't have lost people. You understand what I'm saying? So really that has been the drive in terms of what we want to do. So you're seeing a lot of that is happening. You're seeing the increased use of AI, even with the employment. When they employ you, they really want to know to say how much of AI knowledge do you have now? Yeah. Unlike before, the traditional way it will be how many shifts do you have underground? And now a person who doesn't have much experience in mining like I do, but they come with AI, a little bit coupled with AI, they stand a better chance than me. Yeah. So that's actually the trends now. That's where basically we are heading. And I love it. I really love it because it makes us more competitive. And like I said, from an efficiency point of view, and safety being the most important aspect.
Okay. Yeah. Now you've touched on AI. Talk to me about how it is set to transform the mining sector. It is a buzzword, not just in the mining sector, but throughout the world. So what is the impact it's going to have? And what impact will it have on the workforce as well?
More than anything else, I love the data-driven solutions. Before you make a decision, there's really some data that is supporting it. That is why you see a big drive of the digital twins. It used to be a boring thing that we used to talk about. Now it even can happen even before you even open up the mine. To say, let's simulate exactly what you want to do and let's see what's going. Before you used to learn from our mistakes. You understand? You build a shaft, then you realize, flip, wherever I put the shaft now, there's actually a lot of water or there's a lot of geological issues that end up now making the running of that shaft to even be more expensive for the life of mine. But else now with your digital twins, you start being able to make a decision to say, maybe it's not a good idea to do it that way. How are you going to pump our water? How are you going to deal with the logistics, whether it's for men, whether it's for material, whether it's for equipment, how are you going to be dealing with that? So you're seeing a lot of those data, data-driven decisions more than anything else. So I love that. And the efficiencies more than anything else as well, I also appreciate that. The ESG, before, you could be at a position where you are mining a lot, but a lot of it is waste.
Yeah.
I mean, you using improved technology where you can be using or doing selective mining, you are able not to take less waste outside, which means that in terms of the carbon footprint, it's becoming much lesser. So it's good for your ESG. I mean, you are looking at your environment, sustainability, and also from a governance point of view, your planet, your people, and also your profits, which is the last thing at the end of the day. So you've seen that improvement, and we are really, really loving it, because how many stockpiles are we seeing all over the place? What do they cause? They cause a lot of acid mine drainage. You understand? Now you have to be dealing with this because your water is now polluted that you're drinking, you know? So all of those kind of things now, they're starting to slowly fall away.
Absolutely. Now, Bokang, let's touch on the people part. You know, there's been a big drive to level the playing fields, get more differently enabled people on mine sites, more women, etc. How is technology helping to diversify our workforce?
Yeah. You know, I gave a keynote, then I was talking to the HSE professional, your health, safety, and environment professional. And I think one thing that I really drove around is that you really need to continuously reinvent yourself. The mine manager of the future is not going to be the same as the current mine manager, the general manager of the future, because you really need to be coupled with the AI. Because of, you look at our community now, you look at our youth, majority of our youth is unemployed. But in terms of being tech savvy, they're very high. And I was saying to say to them is, competition now, with where we are heading now, is no longer going to be about only your mining experience. It's going to be about, let's say now you're operating from surface like we're doing at Goldfields Mine, you know? It can be how good you are with the simulations, how efficient you are with those kind of things. So it changes altogether how good you are with the coding. Now you find the skills from Meta, or call it Facebook, being also your competition as a mining person. It's no longer that close circle to say how much experience you have, because now we're dealing in different space. So I was saying to them, they really need to apply this, learn, unlearn, and relearn. You understand what I'm saying? Continuously, you need to be relearning new things more than anything else. So with that, I mean, I was looking at this lady at Goldfields. She was operating 3 machines all at the same time. By herself. She needs only that, because what happens is those machines, they do basically machine learning. After it does a couple of trips, it understands to say, so that's my pickup point, that's my drop point. And then eventually it runs itself. Then you move to the next machine, you do the same thing. Then all you do, you have to observe. What used to happen when a lady was pregnant? Automatically, she has to be taken out of the underground mining service. I mean, underground services. In fact, mining services, it doesn't matter whether it's surface or it's underground. But when you're operating in a control room, whether you're pregnant or not, you really don't need to do that. What did you do to their careers? It took them back. You know, being pregnant for a lady would be like, so you had to sort of choose to say, are you going to work on, you know, building your family, or are you going to work on building your career? You know, a conversation for another day. But you see a lot of ladies who make it in building their career. It's sort of they had to sacrifice in terms of building their family. Slowly that gap has been closed. You can be able to build a career while also building your family, because you can be pregnant while you're operating that. But the injuries that you're having, I mean, I've got my own stint of injury where somebody was injured underground, whether they were operating a roof bolter or a feeder breaker where they got snapped. You understand what I'm saying? So now all of a sudden those people, they don't need to be in those dangerous areas because of these machines can be automated. So from a safety point of view, it's helping a lot, you know? And the message that I drove across is, yes, we worried about the employment of our people. And I like this thing, and I came across it to say, you shouldn't be worried that technology is going to take your work. Technology is not going to take your job. What's going to take your job is actually the one who's making use of technology. You understand?
Right.
The one who's making use of technology is definitely going to take your job. And that's what has been happening now. We used to have big helicopters, and they would be charging in an arm and a leg for them to do the flyover. And I come and I say, I've got a drone. It's this small. It's going to fly over for you. And then it's going to give you your data almost instantly. We're not going to be waiting all over the place and saying we have to print and no. Quickly over there and there, the data will be given to you, and then you're going to be able to do anything that you want to do with it. So that's what some of the things that we'll be seeing happening, and it affects the women positively, because we've got women that are operating drones as well.
Bokang, let's move away from technology and the trends, etc., and talk about the 4-hour in mining seminar that you started in 2019. Talk to me about how it's evolved and who's been part of this journey to take it where it is today.
If you remember the 4-hour in mining seminar, when you came up with it, is that a lot of other areas, they were not taken to it. There was a gap, whether it's in the association, wherever, where basically innovation wasn't being taken into consideration. And then when we came up with it, was to exactly cover all those kind of things, to say, guys, there are things that are happening out there. There's a lot of innovation that is happening out there. Yes, you're talking about the driverless trains in Australia. But what about here in South Africa? There are other things that are also happening, but no one is talking about them. Whether it's at the institutions, your universities, whether it's at the mines, whether it's the consultants out there that are doing amazing things, but no one is really talking about it. It's been done in silos. So when we came with it, we brought literally multiple parties, your academia, your consulting companies, your government, your employers, even your what do you call, your labor, your representatives, your unions, you know. So we brought the unions as well to say, come into the room. Let's talk. Let's hear what you guys are doing. And from there on, it's really been an annual need. It's not just something now that is being pushed in. Really, it's a need. And then it's bringing in quite important people. I mean, we had the DMRE. We had a whole deputy chief inspector of mines who was presenting there. We had a deputy CEO of Harmony that was presenting there. We had the VPs from Sasol, you know, multiple of them. And to a point that Vet said to us, you know what, we would actually want to take this whole event to ourselves. And you find a lot of CEOs saying we are supporting it, and this time around, which is now in 2026, we're going to be participating in it. Just tell us well in advance. A lot of key lessons that are taken from it. You know, I liked one of the cases where the CEO, or rather the deputy CEO, said, we are currently mining up to 4 kilometers. Yes, gold is running out, but now we want to move to the next level, which may take us to up to 5 kilometers. For us to be able to do that, only technology is going to be taking us there. And the question was, and this was to the room, to say, in terms of AI, are you at the point that we can say you are well-versed, that we can take you with when you're going to this journey of 5 kilometers? Quite interesting, because it pointed a lot of questions, or rather it posed a lot of questions to a lot of people in the room. You know, it was, you know, you self-introspect to say, am I doing well? Am I ready? And like I'm saying in the previous questions, to say, what got you here? It's not necessarily going to take you there.
Absolutely.
Technology is really going up quickly, so much quick. So we put it and we pushed it. I couldn't do it anymore by myself. And then we took it over to AMSA and also to SACMA. And I was saying to them, it was never mine to start with. I just identified a gap to say, you guys on your side, you're not covering this. But now that you guys see the value in it, it's okay. Let's put it over to you. I'm sitting currently as the president of that Foreign Mining Seminar. Hopefully somebody who's younger and more innovative than me will eventually take over and, you know, see value in what I did.
Finally, Bokang, you've been a judge in the Mining Elites in Africa yearbook for, I think it's 3 or 4 years now. Now, I know it's a lot of work. You probably don't look forward to that email that I send you around September, etc. But talk to me about the importance of that publication and also about the nominations that you reviewed.
It's funny you're saying to me, I don't look forward to it. I look forward to it because of the learning phase that happens. Because when I read it every time, I'm like, wow, people are really doing amazing things out there. So it's a lot of work. I must admit, it's a lot of work. I look forward to it. I just have to know how to put time aside in my busy schedule. But what you see with that, it's what I love about it. It's really the healthy competition that is happening in the industries, and also the sharing of the best practices. I love how we are incorporating ESG. It doesn't matter whether it's in project, whether it's in ESG, whether it's in technology and innovation. Generally, all of it, you see and you feel the ESG in it. I don't care which category you're looking at. Us being able to put the planet, the people, and eventually the profits last, I'm really enjoying it. You know, when you look at all these countries, what they're doing. And I'm glad it's not just only about South Africa. It's really opening somebody's eyesight to beyond South Africa, to the whole continent and maybe anywhere else besides that. So I think that's one of the things that I've really been enjoying it. People have brains. People are doing amazing stuff. There's so much that is happening in Africa. We need to just open our eyes to it.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, Bokang, always a great pleasure to speak to you. Thank you for joining us on Mining Review Africa today.
Thank you. Much appreciated.